Day 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft is over and done with, and the New York Giants added 2 players into the secondary that I think are going to be immediate players and immediate difference makers for this defense, now operated and coached by defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. I'm your host, Marshall Green. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button as we've been breaking down every move the Giants have made. And we're live for the entire Day 2 coverage as well as Day 1. With the 47th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select safety Minnesota Tyler Nubin. And I am going to give this a B-plus grade for the second selection of Joe Schoen in this draft. In my opinion, he was the best safety in this class. Tom Downey, our NFL draft expert here at Chat Sports, had him as the number 2 safety. I have him as the number 1 safety. A lot of things that I like about him, but the thing the most is he is a true ball hawk. Every year that he played, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, he led the team interceptions. He has the most interceptions in Minnesota Golden Gophers history. He was a second-team All-American in 2023. He was a first-team All-Big Ten, and in 2022, he was second-team All-Big Ten. He was honorable mention All-Big Ten in 2021. He's a multi-time team captain, and he's got prototypical size at 6'1", just over 200 pounds. Didn't test all that well at the NFL Scouting Combine, but I'm not going to overreact to that. You see the athleticism on display when you watch the tape. This is someone that covers a whole lot of ground. He can go from hash to hash. He can play that single high safety, but I think his best spot in the NFL and is when he is deployed in a 2 safety set. Whether he's playing halves, whether he's playing cover 2 or cover 4. I also like his ability as a tackler. I think he could play in the box, play in the slot. Because of his ability and willingness to tackle, paired along with the frame of 6'1", 200 pounds, but also his ability to be sticky in coverage. He entered college as a corner, and I think that's helped him show what type of player he can be. He can play some off-ball man, and I want to see him guard some tight ends at the next level. This is what Dane Brugler of The Athletic said about him. He said, Nubin has conservative tendencies in coverage, but he is a 4-down player with a coveted skill set because of his split field range, playmaking instincts, and toughness versus the run. He is ideally suited for a quarter-space cover 2 scheme in the NFL. He rated him as a 68th overall prospect. And you know what? I've got him a little bit higher than that, as in closer to 0. I think he's a little bit better than what Dane Brugler does. The production at Minnesota backs that up. Also the team captain. He's also rarely hurt. He missed 2 games in 2022, but outside of that, he's pretty much played in every single ball game, and he matches up with what the Giants want. Smart, tough, and dependable. Also, you fit a position of need with, in my opinion, is the number 1 player at this position. You lost Xavier McKinney in free agency. It stunk. You didn't have the money to pay him and go get Brian Burns and John Runyon and Jermaine Illuminor. But you attacked that position of need in round 2 with a great player. Now you got a safety room of Nubin and Pinnock and Belton and Gervarius Owens and Jaylen Mills. He is 23 years old, which goes a little bit against the Joe Schoen draft model. He likes to draft these younger players. He talked about when he selected Malik Neighbors, who was 20 years old. I'm a big fan of what he does. I believe he's got some of the best eyes in this class. His read and react skills, his ability to bait quarterbacks as well. He is a true center field type of safety when it comes to just being kind of a ball hawk. Like we talked about the interception production, most in a Golden Gopher career. We like him in that 2 safety set. I believe he can play single high. I know the 40 time and the short shuttle and all that weren't all that great. He was dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. Don't think he was 100% at the combine. I think he's got what it takes to be a big-time player in this league, and I'm expecting him to do so with the New York Giants. Shane Bowen likes to play defenses with a lot of DBs on the field. You need DBs that can cover and tackle when you do that. I believe Nubin does that at one of these levels that not many players in this class does. We'll talk about Andru Phillips, corner out of Kentucky, in a second. But first, I got to give a huge shout-out. And, well, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. We'll be live on the draft. We'll be live on the channel tomorrow, 30 minutes prior to the draft being kicked off. So subscribe and turn the notifications on. We'll talk Andru Phillips coming up in a second. But first, I got to give a major shout-out to our proud sponsor, Mando. Mando changed my life. because I thought you only needed deodorant for under your arms, but Mando came in and they have changed the game. This is full body deodorant. And that's where Mando comes into play. Step to the plate and take your personal hygiene more seriously with the Mando whole body deodorant. Developed by a doctor, this game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. Mando is available in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando. Keep your body odor in fair territory. And when you go to shopmando.com, that's shopmando.com, and use the promo code CHAT, you're going to get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% off at shopmando.com. Look, this thing has changed my life. I didn't think that you needed deodorant for anything more than under your pits until I met Mando, and they have changed my life. It's also changed Seeps' life. He's a little stinky guy. He's smelling fresh and getting it done. Check him out. It's safe for your entire body. Skin safe and based in science. Shout out to Mando. Go to shopmando.com. Use the promo code CHAT. Get $5 off. That is 40% off your offer. The second pick and the last pick the Giants made in day 2 of the NFL draft was the cornerback, Andru Phillips. He goes by Drew, so I'm going to refer to him as Drew Phillips. The corner from Kentucky in the SEC. I'm going to give him a B grade, and I am very close to giving him a B-plus grade. The more you watch, the more you hear, the more you talk to people, it's really hard not to love Drew Phillips as a prospect. Not the greatest athlete, doesn't give you the elite size that you want at the cornerback position at 6 foot, 187, more like 5'11". His physical profile makes for an interesting cornerback for a team that likes to play a lot of press coverage. But I believe that he is going to be very successful in this Shane Bowen defense. He plays with a competitive spirit. He is relentless. He is physical, and he is not scared. I also love what he did at the Senior Bowl. He was one of my Senior Bowl standouts for the New York Giants. What he did when guarding Ladd McConkey in one-on-ones was exceptional. This is Drew Phillips, the corner from Kentucky. I love what he did there. Joe Schoen referred to him as a slot corner that can play outside. He has more snaps in the slot in Kentucky in his career, but last year he predominantly played on the outside, but at 5'10 and 3/4, which he came in at the combine, just about 5'11, 190, he may have to slide into the slot. Not the best tackler, but he's a willing tackler. And when you go watch the tape at the Senior Bowl, he was sticky in coverage when guarding a guy in Ladd McConkey in press coverage. McConkey's one of the best route runners in this draft class, and in his hip pocket was Andru Phillips the entire day. You now have a first-round pick in your cornerback room from Deonte Banks. You have a third-round pick in Andru Phillips. You have a third-round pick in Cordell Flott. You have a second-round pick in Tyler Nubin. You've invested in this secondary now. And with Shane Bowen, who likes to run a lot of different coverages, mainly man, but also put pressure on the quarterback, you need those guys to be able to guard on the back half of the defense. I think adding a guy like Phillips will definitely help out. Still have a little bit of a need of that outside corner, as Joe Schoen referred to Drew as more of a slot corner who could play outside. Talked about the versatility, which is something that he really likes. I like it as well. But I think you could still use a veteran outside corner. Maybe they look to free agency for that. I want you to grade the Giants draft for me so far. I'd give it an A-plus grade for Malik Neighbors, B-plus for Tyler Nubin. I don't give a B for Phillips. I want to give him a B-plus, but I'm going to stick as a B. A little bit worried about the size and more so playing in the slot. I liked him a little bit more as the outside corner, but I'm going to trust Joe Schoen on this one. Grade the draft, A, B, C, D, or F. The Giants have 3 picks in day 3 of the 2024 NFL draft. They will be picking 107th in round 4, 166 in round 5, and 183 in round 6. So let's just go through some of the top prospects that are still available. Troy Franklin, wide receiver, Oregon. Kind of shocked he's on the board. Jaden Hicks still on the board. If Jaylen Wright is on the board when the Giants are on the clock at 107, I would love for that to be selection. I would have been cool with TJ Tampa being the selection at 70 over Drew Phillips. I like Phillips a little bit more, but I understand what Tampa brings, a little bit more size, a little bit more length, and a little bit more physicality. I'm a fan of Jatavian Sanders. Have been since covering him in high school football. I'd be cool with that. Brandon Dorlus is somebody that I'm very interested in. I had him going in my 3rd round mock draft today, so I'd be cool with that. I don't see Malik Washington as a player the Giants have interest in. Maybe, though, Braylon Allen, running back, Wisconsin. Maybe the Giants want to go and beef up the interior offensive line. You could look at a guy like Christian Mahogany. I don't think they're going to go after the edge from Kansas or Tez Walker. I love Javon Baker. He's one of my sleepers in this draft, but I don't think the Giants will select him. Maybe go tight end Jared Wiley. Maybe Mason McCormick, the interior offensive lineman. I love Tyrone Tracy, the receiver turned running back out of Purdue. And even though Jeremiah Trotter's dad was a dog, the Giants don't necessarily need an off-ball backer, in my opinion. 3 picks left. Give me a D lineman, give me an O lineman, and give me an offensive playmaker. I like what Joe Schoen has done so far. Love the pick of Neighbors. Really like the pick of Nubin. And I like to pick a Andru Phillips as well. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Free, informative, entertaining updates. And we will be live on the channel 30 minutes prior to the draft kicking off. It starts at noon Eastern. We'll be live at 11:30 Eastern. Subscribe, turn the notifications on, and we'll see you then. Let's go Big Blue.